Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more Los Angeles Lakers news, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Do the Lakers have great players to compete for the title? The answer is no. The Lakers need to sign 2 more players who perform at a high level and can help the Lakers stars during games. Anthony Davis and LeBron James need more time off so they can reach the playoffs healthy. LeBron James is still playing at a high level, but he needs help, and Anthony Davis is playing at an MVP level, but he also needs help. The current Lakers squad is considered good, but not at the level of being champions. Rumors: Lakers are interested in 3 great players. As the trade deadline approaches, the Los Angeles Lakers have some moves they need to make in order to be considered an NBA title contender. They have already made a trade, trading D'Angelo Russell and Maxwell Lewis along with second-round picks for Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton. Unfortunately, the defense has not improved much since adding those 2 players. Their defensive rating has fallen to 27th in the 5 games since they added those 2 guys off the bench. Obviously, they need some time to figure out how they fit in with the rest of the team before the Lakers become concerned. With that being said, that move is not going to be the only one they make. LA isn't done, and they look like they will be active when the trade deadline approaches. According to The Athletic's Jovan Buha, the Lakers are looking at 3 specific trade targets as the deadline approaches. According to Buha, the Lakers are looking at 3 specific players ahead of the deadline: Bruce Brown, Walker Kessler, and Robert Williams III are the players who are realistic players they can bring in. All of those players could help the Lakers, although one could help more than others. Kessler is the most intriguing name that Buha mentions. He could start alongside Anthony Davis at the center spot. That would move Davis back to power forward, which is his preferred position to play. He is averaging 10.7 points, 11.2 rebounds, and 2.6 blocks per game. Kessler is one of the best shot blockers in the entire league. Bringing him in would upgrade the Lakers' defense in an even bigger way than the Finney-Smith trade did. He's also just 23 years old, so he could be the center for years to come. Williams III would be someone they could bring off the bench if he can ever get healthy. His issues with injuries have kept him from reaching his full potential. He's played just 17 games in the last 2 seasons with the Blazers. Brown is probably the guy that they need to least of those 3 targets. He is very versatile on the defensive end, but he hasn't done much offensively since being sent to Toronto. Brown averages just 5.8 points per game this year because he's played in just 4 games. If Los Angeles could somehow get Kessler from Utah, that would be a massive win for the Lakers, not only for this season but long-term. Rival teams eyeing assets that LA must label untouchable. It's time to learn from past mistakes. The Los Angeles Lakers are approaching the stage that many fans were hoping they wouldn't reach. Having opted against making roster adjustments during the 2024 period of free agency, Los Angeles had ample time to weigh its options and execute trades to bolster the rotation. Unfortunately, the Lakers have waited long enough that they're somehow racing against the 2025 NBA trade deadline, and rival executives seem to know it. Los Angeles has assets at its disposal for any potential trade negotiations that may arise. They're more limited after the Dorian Finney-Smith trade went through, but the Lakers still have team-friendly contracts and draft picks to combine in any potential deal. According to Jovan Buha of The Athletic, the assets that rival executives seem most interested in acquiring from the Lakers are their 2029 and 2031 first-round draft picks. My understanding in conversations around the league is that the Lakers actually have high-value picks. People want that 2029 and 2031 first-round pick just because of the uncertainty. The uncertainty that Buha is referring to, of course, is how good the Lakers can realistically be once LeBron James retires. Executives want Lakers first-round draft picks in potential trades. Whenever the time comes that James retires, a glaring void will be left in the Lakers roster. history suggests that the franchise will simply retool and add a new star to play alongside Anthony Davis, but that's less of a guarantee than it is an aspiration. Regardless of how the Lakers plan to build for the future, a simple fact must be acknowledged: they can't afford to trade a future first-round draft pick. The reason teams are interested in the Lakers' 2029 and 2031 first-round draft picks isn't just because of the uncertainty. The reason they're looking so far out is the fact that Rob Pelinka can't trade another round 1 selection until 2029. Los Angeles has already shipped out its 2025 and 2027 first-round draft picks, and the Stepien rule prevents it from giving up a round 1 pick in consecutive years. Yes, the Lakers will have first-round selections in 2026 and 2028 no matter what else transpires. This is a team that's parted with draft picks in a way that would suggest they're of no value, however, which has inevitably resulted in the current roster's limitations. Rather than filling out the rotation with rookie-scale players who can develop within the culture and structure established by the coaching staff, the Lakers have been relying on veterans on minimum contracts. With this in mind, it should come as no surprise that the Lakers rank number 29 in the NBA in bench points per game. It's a trend that's all but destined to continue if the Lakers abandon the opportunity to add up incoming talent via the NBA draft rather than holding on to their assets and building a future that won't be as star-dependent, especially with cap space set to clear up whenever James decides to retire. It's tempting to consider what the Lakers' future first-round picks could net them, but it would be difficult to justify giving one or both up with an uncertain future ahead in Los Angeles. Christian Wood, trade asset or answer to Lakers' second unit woes? Wood has struggled to stay healthy over the past 2 seasons, and was arguably cast in a role that didn't fit his skill set in 2023-24. When he's playing at 100%, however, he's established himself as one of the most productive players in the NBA. Between 2018-19 and 2022-23, Wood averaged 22.3 points, 10.9 rebounds, 2.1 offensive boards, 2.2 assists, 1.3 blocks, 0.9 steals, and 2.0 three-point field goals made per 36 minutes. In addition to being remarkably productive on a per 36 basis, Wood shot 52% from the field and 38.1% from beyond the arc during that timeframe. For those who aren't a fan of per 36 numbers, it's worth noting that the 29-year-old began to approach those marks on a per-game basis in recent seasons. Between 2020-21 and 2022-23, Wood averaged 18.1 points, 8.9 rebounds, 2.0 assists, 1.1 blocks, 0.7 steals, and 1.8 three-point field goals made in 29.3 minutes per game. That type of production could greatly elevate a Lakers team that can't seem to generate consistent scoring from the second unit or rebounds overall. For that matter, he could also help Los Angeles prevent opposing bigs from creating second chances of their own. Considering the Lakers rank number 27 in second chance points allowed, it's difficult to overlook how intriguing a fit Wood could be in J.J. Redick's rotation. Unfortunately, the Lakers are just about as close to the playoffs as they are their 2024-25 season opener. Having been without Wood for nearly half the season, it's come to the point that Rob Pelinka can no longer justify banking on his return from injury, especially with the February 6 trade deadline looming. When the Los Angeles Lakers signed Christian Wood in 2023, most decided it was one of the best signings of the offseason. Los Angeles signed one of the NBA's most statistically intriguing big men to a minimum contract with a player option for 2024-25 worth just $3,036,000 to $40. Unfortunately, Wood has appeared in just 50 of Los Angeles's 118 regular season games since signing at the end of his contract, leaving the Lakers facing an impossible decision as the trade deadline approaches. Without a role, Wood is everything the Lakers need right now. He's a productive rebounder, an efficient three-point shooter and a completely dynamic scoring threat with per 36 production that suggests he can help the team improve in several areas of weakness. Los Angeles could potentially make a trade that would help resolve these and other issues. It's the most likely outcome, especially when considering the fact that Wood has yet to make his debut in the 2024-25 season, nearly 40 games.